Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Monkey Brains Podcast. I'm Amber.
Yeah.
Are you going to introduce yourself?
Hi.
Nice one.
Yeah, I said hi. How else do you say hello? How do you introduce people? You say hi. They're like, what are you doing? And then like, nothing much. There you go.
Welcome to Conversation 101 with Conversation for Dummies.
Yeah.
Wow, that's awesome.
All right, Soul.
Sorry. I feel like I'm in trouble now.
You're going to detention, young man.
No. Might have been sold though.
Wow. It would be it's always funny to think of like how like imagine someone just came to this channel and like came across a random video and had to figure out who we were from the introductory sections of our videos. They would half the time they would have no clue. 'Cause it's just like
Every time it's just like, are these even the same people?
that we start like talking and it's just like and it's just like we say each other's names and they're like, that's their names? I thought it was something else.
I'm not gonna lie, this is very confusing first impression, and then they scratch their head with their finger.
You know how it's like in like writing you have to have a good hook to grip your reader. Yeah, we don't have that. In fact, we have the opposite of that. Our hook is more like we don't have a hook. We just cast our fishing line, and it's just the string, no hook.
I thought you said Rite Aid for a second. I was like, wait a minute. I don't think Rite Aid carries fishing supplies or writing supplies. I think they carry medicine.
Yeah, no. But yeah, we have whatever the opposite of a hook is. That's our podcast. We're not catching anyone with this. That's exactly
we
how
have
it was designed.
we have what is it, like a weight or like or just like a big old like ball that
We have like
fish can't hook onto.
we have a boxing glove that just like instead of hooking the person on, it punches them away. That's why our channel is so unpopular.
That'd be kind of crazy to just like fling back a fishing rod and then like wringing it out while like having the big old fist just getting shot at a fast speed and hitting somebody far away.
I think that's how real people fish. They just like cast out a boxing glove and punch the fish to knock them out, and then
You're not a real fisher.
It's like the classic methods of diving in and grabbing them with your hands, or throwing dynamite in there and blowing them all out.
That's some Looney Tunes shit.
Yeah. Yeah, you can't knock it till you've tried it, you know? Talk to me when you
Jim, imagine this. The
What?
Fortnite rap lyrics on the end of a hook, and then we throw it in the ocean, and we pull it up, and then it's just like CN the third, and then a group of fish start singing the Fortnite rap.
What?
Imagine. No, or they could sing like the fish stick song. They'll be like, like la
we
la
could-
la
I
la.
think,
like SpongeBob level stuff.
Yeah,
I
like
think
some
like
SpongeBob
I
levels.
think if we pulled your brain out of your head, it would be classified as a cognito hazard.
I think if you pulled my brain out of my head, you'd be very surprised at how hollow it is.
I think
It'd be like a
if I
grandfather.
pulled your
Do you,
brain out of your
if
head,
you
I think
shake
you'd
your
be surprised
head,
how dead
if you
are.
shake your head, can we hear it rattle?
It'll look like an IV bag, but you can't see through it because you
IV
can't see
bag?
through brains. Yeah, you know where it's like half filled with like a wire, like an IV drip,
Oh, right.
but it's like hanging on like the little metal pole that it comes with like the wheels.
Right.
Actually, that would describe my brain as an IV drip.
We're gonna stick the IV straight into your brain. Standard
Because I need
medical
to live.
procedure.
I need to live, but like
I
it's
wanna
just
live.
it's an inconvenience.
Yeah. We gotta make sure that you're getting pumped full of IV.
Yeah, no. If I need if I'm
And
iving it.
we'll pump you full of it, and we'll see if you survive.
I get the joke.
+2.
Yeah.
Well, that's I'm really funny, guys. I
You
did
are.
comedy.
You did a comedy and we applauded. Happy birthday.
Anyway, so we did miss the past week because we didn't have people showing up.
Because last week didn't exist.
Yeah, because the stars skipped the last week.
Yeah.
I know
Anything
I
that
was
happened
there.
anything that happened in the last like week time frame. It didn't happen, guys. You guys have all been lying. I mean, no, my bad. We're
They've
you
been
guys have all been
lying.
lied to. You guys have all been lied to. There you
You've all
go.
been
That's the way.
gaslit by the world. But Fia is not here for a reason that we don't know. She just hasn't been around. I assume she's out somewhere, but she is not here right now, so it's just us three. Yeah, last week we just had not enough people show up, so we didn't do one last week. And so since we missed a week, what's been going on with you guys in your in the time that we've missed?
So you had a birthday.
Oh yeah! Happy birthday to me!
Yay!
Yay! It was actually 6 days ago that I turned a fabulous 21.
Yay!
Oh.
Now
And-
you're completely unshackled.
No, I have to wait till I'm 35.
For
What
what?
do you get at 35?
The opportunity to become president? Duh.
Oh right.
Ah, true. You get to be
But,
president at 35. Well, don't worry.
Yeah.
If you become president, you don't have to panic too much. You'll do better than any of the ones we've had in recent memory.
Well, I will say that I will say that since I'm 21, even though I cannot be president, I guess I can do stupid stuff like drinking and smoking and gambling. Woo! But I'm not really interested in that stuff, so everything's just kind of going the same for me. Except those opportunities are there now, and if I want to buy my dad a little something, I can. Yeah.
Well,
Being 21 is not as exciting as I thought it would be. And when I did turn 21, yeah, I went and had a family dinner with our family breakfast. But then I had to go work. And I worked a full 8 hours that day too. Which kind of sucked. But
Wait, so, do you remind me? What? How old are you? Yeah, remind me again.
I'm 20. I'm 21.
That's 9 plus 10.
I fucking knew you were gonna say that.
That's true. That's true.
The
Guys, if
moment
you
you
do not
said, "How old are you again?" I was like, I know where this is going.
Guys, I was born
Guys,
19
I just
years
thought
ago.
of this really
That's why I'm
funny
21
joke.
years. Ow.
Hey guys, you ever heard of Vine?
guys. What's 9 plus 10?
21.
No. He's stupid. No. Alright, enough of that.
All right, that joke has gotten unfunny already. Let's move on.
But yeah, no, the Jem, are you at a restaurant right now?
What?
Am I hearing like chopsticks or something? What's going on here?
I'm
Oh, hold
hearing.
Jem's now going to tell his family to shut the fuck up.
Oh my god.
Alright, I'm back.
Alright. But I guess something about being 21 that they don't really tell you about is that from this point on, like, any significant birthdays are just gonna be like by fives. And so the next birthday that I'm supposed to be looking forward to is my 25th. And then after that is my 30th, and then the 35th, and then the 40th, and then the 45th, and all that type of stuff eventually. Because after the 20th...
at some point, it just goes to none of your birthdays.
Yeah. Because
Until
eventually...
you hit 100.
Yeah, no, that's the big one. Actually, no, once you turn 90, then, like, all your birthdays become significant because, like, if you're not dead by then, like, props.
Yo, shout out to my grandma.
Shout out to my nana, who was really, really old, but stuck it out quite a long time.
Oh, did she age?
I want to say she was like early 90s, like 92, 93. I think. Because she was really old, and like I still have actually this one time I had I was looking through my 3DS one time and I found pictures that I've taken of like family members and old stuff like that because I would be playing this game called Face Raiders where
I was thinking I was gonna ask, was it Face Raiders?
It was
I
Face
was a big
Raiders.
Face Raiders fan.
And in there I also had pictures of my nana, my great grandmother, and I remembered I was like, you shoot the faces. I hope I didn't shoot at my nana. You know that'd be pretty bad.
Die,
She's just
Nana,
laughing
die.
at me. She's just laughing at me like ha ha ha, and I have to shoot the the pellets. Fucking.
When I have to shoot my family because I'm bored.
Because I'm bored. Nintendo has created lots of games where we put our people of familiar into danger for our own amusement, which is pretty nuts.
You can
I was also
in
thinking,
that game you can also make them cats.
I was also thinking like Tomodachi Life.
I don't think that's dangerous situations, but
Well, I mean, in the like
me putting the people I know into the most dangerous situation, living in an apartment on an island.
That's a
Don't trust me.
Go-
Just like the big like comedic Adam's apple like going from top to the bottom.
Cool.
Gulp.
Well, that's not good.
No, I have to live in this apartment rent free.
Whenever we do another tier list video, we have to do the white people phrases tier list.
Oh,
All right.
And
by golly gee.
half of us are white and half of us aren't. So it'll we have a perfect blend of opinions here.
Yes. And then we can rank Oakley Dokley, because that'd be pretty
It's
fun.
funny. I like some of those like phrases on like the white people phrases tier list. I'm pretty sure are kind of like area focused. Like some of those are very like they feel very like southern phrases to me instead of like general white. They're still white people phrases, just like some white people.
There's like white people phrases, and then there's white people phrases, and then in parentheses like region specific.
Yeah, like that, like
Um,
dialects kind of thing.
darn tootin', gang gum.
Dadgum, they don't hit the Pentagon.
Darcy goals.
Darcy blows. That's just pirate speak.
And what complexion with pirates?
Do they still have the thing in Minecraft where you can set your language to pirate speak?
Yeah. Also,
Mhm.
lolcat.
Yeah, I love how they've just. I feel like Mojang has just kind of forgotten about that because lolcat is so old at this point. That's like old internet.
It
Does
is.
anyone even use that at the? Well, I feel like they probably still focus on it because they have to have quote unquote translations for new items, which I'm pretty sure they do.
Yeah.
Honestly, I feel like oh, my bad.
Okay.
I,
What do you...
I accidentally talked over Jem, my bad.
No, I said yeah, they do.
Yeah. Because I was gonna go and say, well, because I don't know if people use it like as their primary language thing, but I mean, kudos to those
I
who
used
do,
to
even
when
though
I
it's a
was
very
like
small
8.
minority. Um,
I thought it was
but
funny. Wasn't it? It was so funny when they said cheeseburgers so much. It was really funny, guys.
um, but I
Cat
want to
me
say that
cat want have cheeseburger.
the opportunity of like those like funny language things being there, it's just nice to have in like a relic of from when they were first implemented.
Do you think there's a guy on the Mojang dev team that just like the lolcat guy that has to to translate all the new stuff into lolcat?
He just comes in looking like all Stoffo for work. He's just like, another day at work.
You think? Why do you assume that the person who writes the lolcat stuff looks like Astolfo?
Okay, well,
Is
they could
Astolfo
also be like Hatsune Miku or
Hatsune Meku?
I said okay, maybe I did say Meku. That was my bad. My bad. Miku heads, my bad. I don't think that's what her fan base is called.
No.
All the Headsune Mikus.
Imagine saying, "Yo, my fellow Headseeker, are we partying?" And then they all just look at you like,
Me,
"What
yeah,
the
I'm a
fuck?"
Miku Headsune.
I'm a Miku. Oh, my
All
Miku
one
Headsune
word.
is in the house tonight. What?
Me showing up as at a convention, just dressed up as Hatsune Miku, but only her head. Yeah, I'm Hatsune Miku. It's like that one
From the
image of
torso.
Hatsune. It's just that one image of Hatsune Miku, but like with her like pigtails as legs, and it's just her head.
And it's like everything torso to like all the way down to the shoes with like business casual.
Yeah, it's just. Do you think? Okay, random question because I just thought of it. If you were to go to like a convention or something, just any general convention, doesn't matter. Whatever fits the answer to this question. Who would be the character you would want to cosplay the most?
A convention.
Yeah,
Mm.
like, you know, people dress up for conventions. Like, people will go to, like, anime conventions or comic conventions or whatever, what has you. Doesn't matter the convention. You're going to a convention. Who do you want to cosplay? Yeah? Are you thinking of something?
Sid the Science Kid.
Fuck yeah.
That's me showing up to the Game Awards.
I was thinking.
Oh, go ahead.
Oh.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say, you know, like, those shorts from Ed Puzzle with the robot. Trying to remember the name. What was his name? Hold on. Ed Puzzle robot.
I know my teachers used Ed Puzzle, but I don't remember a robot.
Is it Brain Pop? Hold on.
Oh, Tim
because
and Moby.
Tim and Moby. There we go.
That's Ed Puzzle.
I was thinking either Tim or Pablo Escobar. Those are the two.
Can I say Clippy?
Like the paperclip guy?
Yeah, can I be Clippy?
I
don't know how that would work, but I
was gonna say I'd be interested.
You
to
just
see
run
how you'd
around with like a
accomplish
sticky.
that.
You just run around with a bunch of sticky notes and a pen.
If I could use one of those suits where it's just like everything, it's just like a black suit and like a line.
Oh yeah, just one of those like morph suits.
Yeah.
And it's just with just like a giant paper clip with eyes just taped onto the front.
Yeah.
I was gonna. I mean, I was gonna give like an actual character, but I guess I'm the odd one out here.
Do you know who you're talking to?
Yeah. Yeah. I know.
But what would your character be?
Yeah, what would yours be?
Okay, you get 3 guesses. It's really easy.
Oh my god, really?
You're gonna make us guess?
It's
Really?
it's really easy.
Really?
It's really easy.
Really? You're not
Yeah.
gonna do something okay. Oh well.
I was thinking like that one
That
No.
one. Yeah.
uh
That's all.
do we both have 3 guesses each? Or do we share the 3 guesses?
I know that I know the answer. That's why I'm not saying it.
All right, so up to you.
No,
Take
you're
your
gonna
guesses.
make me guess. I'm gonna look stupid. Okay, hold on. I got this. Okay. No, Bridget would be too easy.
I like how you say it would be too easy immediately after me saying it's really easy.
Is it not? Is it Bridget?
No,
it's not Bridget.
It's not.
See, exactly. That's what I mean. Okay, hold
It's still easy.
Uh, It's got to be a Toho character.
No.
No? Okay,
No.
hold on. If it's really easy,
It's like right in front of you.
I don't know her name.
Do I say it?
Please,
If
I can't.
You say
Okay,
it.
well, okay, hold on. One more guess.
All right, go ahead.
if you don't know the character's name, you can just like describe them.
Cindy from Jimmy Neutron.
That's not it.
I don't even know who that is.
I don't know either. I never watched Jimmy Neutron.
Oh my god,
Neither did I.
you guys are missing out. Okay, Gem
I thought
reveal.
no. Cagliostro.
Yeah.
I would have never guessed that in a million fucking years. No
What
way.
do you
No way in
mean?
fuck.
It's
I
fine.
don't-
Do you?
I think
not
you said
see
it
my-
one time.
Do you not see my profile picture right now, man?
Yeah, that's why it's right in front of you.
I don't know her fucking name. I don't know her name.
God, I'm
I
gonna
don't
have
play-
to. I'm gonna have
Someone
to drill
clearly-
this into your head.
What does your profile say? PFP from Grand Blue Fantasy. I think I've played it once, like for like 5 minutes or so, and I didn't play it. I don't know.
Someone clearly. You. Don't worry. I'm the one who sits with her for like 3 hours or more.
Me
I-
talking about bullshit.
Yeah, I know already.
I was gonna say, didn't you see my presentation? But I remembered that you weren't there for that episode.
I wasn't for the episode. I did. I looked through it. Like I remember with being with you guys, and then we watched through the the things. I think I was there with you guys when we were going over that episode, like just on our own time. Just kind of looking at the characters because I was like, "What did I miss, guys?"
Possibly.
But yeah, no, never in a million fucking years would I have gotten that. And this is at no distaste of the character. I just don't know my Grand Blue very well. Thank you for your time, Your Honor.
That's why I was like, really?
Dude, I've been like,
Was it not gonna be like the surprise answer? No, nothing like that.
no, I mean like,
Jim,
look,
I'm gonna-
okay, I'd have to if I wanted to give a different answer, I'd have to like, cause like, I'd obviously want to cosplay her because she's my favorite character, but I'd have to think about like what would be like just a fun character to dress up as, like just based on their like.
That's why I
Just
said Sid. That's why I said Sid, because he just wears like a regular shirt and
But
like.
that's
a regular
boring. You gotta
pants.
pick something that's fun.
Ah.
You're just
oh,
showing up
but-
in casual wear.
I think I know one. Any character from like Guilty Gear that has like a billion of belts with them.
A million belt buckles.
Okay,
All
Yeah.
I know who I'm gonna dress up as now.
Yeah.
The engineer from PvZ, Garden Warfare.
Oh, you can have your belly button out the entire time.
I get to ride a jackhammer but
Get to
fall
show-
off
get
because
to
that's
show
not how
off your
jackhammers
gut.
work.
Oh yeah, you're gonna be showing off your happy trail.
And then I just go.
I saw I saw a tweet where someone they were doing a Ran Yakumo cosplay from they were doing a Ran Yakumo cosplay from Toho. Don't mind me being under my desk. I have to plug my headphones in.
I gotta turn on my light.
Okay. And they were in full cosplay at a grocery store, and they were with like they were like picking out bread, and they had the caption like, "I couldn't find any Wonder Bread," so like, and I could only think like, you have to have an incredible amount of you have to have an incredible lack of shame to go to a grocery store in full cosplay wear.
Yeah.
They also someone
Mhm.
quote tweeted them, the person they were with, saying they went to find Wonder Bread and they went to 2 separate grocery stores to find it and neither had any.
Wonder Bread?
Yeah, they were trying.
Yeah, it's Wonder Bread.
Are you not aware of the legacy of Wonder
Wonder.
Bread? It's just a
Oh, we
brand
have
of bread.
this. Yeah, we have this on our
It's just
like.
it's a brand
link
of
out.
bread, but are you not aware of the legacy of Wonder Bread?
Is it the one where it's like teleport to bagels, or what was the
No,
thing?
no,
you could
no.
do?
It's not that.
Oh well,
So
yeah, I don't know.
okay, so stop me if you're familiar with this one, but there was a guy who commissioned a bunch of artists to just draw white blonde woman buying Wonder Bread.
I
That
think
was just like
I've
his
heard
fetish.
of it.
Yeah, he did. He just would commission artists to draw, and like any. It didn't matter who it was. They just had to be a blonde white woman, and they would be buying just to buy of them buying Wonder Bread. This guy commissioned like a bunch of art of them doing
That's so funny.
that.
Huh.
That was just his thing that he did. I'm pretty sure there's been I
What a
think
wonder.
there's been some explanations as to why like he
Maybe the
like,
dude saw like a woman IRL buying Wonder Bread and was like, I want to
holy
see
shit.
other. Yeah, yeah, something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, that
This
was
reminds me of the. This reminds me of the. It wasn't someone, but they. I remember like a conversation people had. It was like, I can't believe that there's people who genuinely, like, feel something for characters having the like Looney Tunes thing where their eyes pop out of their sockets. Like people genuinely, yeah, people were genuinely saw that. Were like, "Whoo!"
Yeah, I that's an interesting little thing to know about. And I don't know. I think this happened like several years ago, and I think some people have like made comments about on it. Like some people who either knew the guy or like something like that. But yeah, that is a thing that happened, and that's the joke they were referencing because Ran is, well, she has yellow hair, but close enough. But yeah, so but I just saw that and I was like, man, that's gotta be. I can't. I could never do that. Go out in the store in full cosplay wear. I would be like so embarrassed.
I could.
Okay, you could. Would you go as the engineer with your gut out in a public store?
Yeah, people would think I'm just a construction worker. That's there's no
They would
there's
also
no
think you're
thought.
gross, probably.
Construction guy is fucking. That guy
Got
is
his
really
belly
fucking
hanging
like he's
out.
let
What the
himself
hell?
go. And then like the other partner's just like he's a construction worker. They're all fucking let themselves go. and
You know,
I'm just there like I play video games.
Yo, it's a gamer reference. Do you get it?
You kid? No.
Also, I was gonna mention earlier because we were talking about.
Bless
Oh
you.
my god, thank you.
No problem.
Goodness gracious.
No problem, buddy. And then I thumbs up.
Fia just got back to me and said, "Apologies, my aunt was here, so we had dinner and shit. My phone was off because I was having social interaction, with social interaction censored."
Yeah.
So that's what happened. But yeah, I was gonna mention earlier because so was like I don't know who that is. I've never played Grand Blue Fantasy. I have been like, I have to like, I'm in like, I constantly am in this like internal thing of like, God, I want someone to get into this game because I actually will have someone to talk about it with. But on the other side, knowing like, gacha games are not things that are very universally like easy to get into. So I'm just like kind of sitting here like, I need someone to get into this game. I got Adam into it, but he he played it for a bit and then is always like, man, I should play it again.
That's how he is with everything.
he also when he moved computers recently, he never like wrote down his login, so he doesn't remember his password.
Oh no! Well,
So
gotta change the password.
yeah, you gotta do that. So I got him in. I had my fleeting moment of. I've been thinking about like, I've been wondering if I could get Fox into it, but she's off on her current fixation, and I don't feel like I could interrupt that very easily.
Ah,
Because she's big on Cookie Run Kingdom right now.
oh yeah, you told me.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah, I told you about this, but I'll say it for the podcast. So because she started playing it, I've been playing it a bit as well. Because I remember a while ago I actually did start or try it out like for like I want to say an hour and then stopped. I don't remember why I stopped playing. Though I have a sneaking suspicion based on my recent attempts to play it, and which I'll get into it in a second. But I got back into it, and at one point, because I would talk about it with Fox occasionally, and at one point she asked me like, "Hey, what are your favorite like cookies? Like your favorite characters?" And I gave my my current favorites, and the first thing she said to it was "checks out." The cookie that ended up being my favorite was the exact one that she thought was going to be my favorite. She
Wasn't
really
that a
clocked
darn
me
thing?
with that one, but but what I was gonna mention was my suspicion of the reason why my memory says that it's just I didn't like click with it immediately, but I have a different reason why. So when I tried to play the game recently. I initially got it on an Android emulator, BlueStacks. I actually, I had BlueStacks for a while because for various mobile game reasons, and I recently uninstalled it because one, I found an alternative which will come later, and two, BlueStacks uses AI a lot, and I don't really want to support a program that does that. They use a not only did they have it got replaced with a Discord link in the latest version. Don't know when they did that, but it also was they had like an AI chat bot as like integrated in the thing, and I also noticed that they would use AI for like promotional images for it. So once I realized I didn't have to use it anymore, I uninstalled it because I ain't using that shit. But yeah, so I initially got Cookie Run Kingdom on BlueStacks. The problem is that on BlueStacks, when you would open it, it would immediately crash, and I didn't know why. I looked it up, and apparently people were having the same problem of running it on BlueStacks. So I tried to get it on my phone. instead.
Mhm.
And my phone is old, so it was bound to run poorly, which it did. But I just could not get the game. I could play the game, which was an improvement, but I could not get the game to stop crashing every like few minutes. Uh,
Ah,
Sounds
which
horrible.
it got rough. And I found out through a bit more research that Cookie Run Kingdom has a big problem with crashing, just generally. A lot of people have issues with the game crashing somewhat frequently, whether it be every few minutes or every 30 minutes. People would just very frequently have a problem with the game crashing. So I couldn't get it to work on an emulator, and I couldn't get it to work on my phone, at least not very well. So
Hmm.
I was looking. But I did remember. I remembered that there was a thing on the Google Play Store where it tells you that you can. They have a desktop app, a Google Play, like a Google Play app, uh, and I got that and got the game on there, and it runs perfectly. I haven't had it crash once. Uh, so I've managed to find my solution through that. I've been able to play it even better than if I played it on its intended on its intended platform. Uh, so the Google Play app on my computer is now going to be what I use uh, for mobile games, because goodness knows it runs things better on here than I'm gonna run it on anything else, especially an emulator. Uh, so I'm going to use that now. Not that I play mobile games very much. Granted, like most mobile games nowadays have a PC release because of how prevalent people playing on PC is. Uh, Obviously, mobile games will be on mobile because mobile still has a ridiculous audience. Because you may not have a good PC, but you definitely have a smartphone. At least
you
most people.
definitely have a parent, and they definitely use Facebook.
Yeah, or you have a parent that has a smartphone that you mooch off of, or like a tablet or
Or tell
something.
him that's little Timmy who is on the street and he
No,
stole a phone from the iPhone store. He was like, "Ooh, Cookie Run."
I,
I
wa-
that little kid would like Cookie Run.
I should play
I
Cookie Run.
what's your thoughts?
It's it's pretty alright. Um yeah, no, it was not bad. I played it for a good bit. I would say like a few weeks.
I've
Fair
only
enough.
had to interact with Cookie Run once, and it was because I had like I had a classmate. Well, actually, I had a friend that we had a class together, and she would just nonstop talk to me about Splatoon and Cookie Run.
Oh, it's the
And
same
that's how,
person.
yeah.
Uh,
And no, it wasn't Fia. She would just like nonstop talk to me about Splatoon and Cookie Run, and I was like, cool,
yeah.
yeah, good to know. Yeah, it's like, oh, well, that's interesting. Yeah.
Yeah,
Hey,
I
did you know
like
that this cookie loves this cookie and they make cookie batter with each
I've
other because they're cookies?
okay, okay, man.
Fia will
But
kill me if you hear me say that shit.
Fia's not into Cookie.
Oh.
Fia is
Oh no, fucking Q. My bad. My bad.
Q.
The
I don't know.
character?
I don't know anymore.
You mean Aku?
I wonder if he is into fucking shit like that.
I don't know.
I don't know.
I
I
don't
know
know.
that I found well, actually, I found this also just from my occasional check to see what the fuck's going on in the FFE. I'll yeah, I check there like usually like sometime during the day, and it'll take me like 5 seconds because there's like no messages that could sit there. But
Hmm.
the um Oh, I found out that Jack plays it, so and has for a while.
Hmm.
That
Jack
checks
is a
out.
yeah. Jack is I wonder how Jack, because I know that Jack's a Dead by Daylight player. I wonder how he feels about the FNAF collab that's coming out soon.
Oh yeah, with Springtrap.
Yep.
I always come back.
Uh,
I've never played Dead by Daylight.
I feel like Dead by Daylight is one of those games to me that it's like it looks really fun if you're only playing with your friends. If you're playing online, it looks like the most miserable time you'll ever have.
Oh yeah.
It's the sweatiest game that ever be played.
Yeah,
Oh, I
like if you're
hate Dead
playing
by
it,
Daylight. I had a YouTube channel I was subscribed to because I really liked like the music that they made, but they would nonstop like start posting on their community tab, always about Dead by Daylight, and I like I don't know the game. I don't care. Stop putting this thing in my game. And then
I
I
don't
would
fucking
click.
care.
I would click on the don't recommend button for community posts all the time, and it would still show up. And I was like, oh my god. I ended up unsubscribing because I stopped listening to their music. But, oh my god, it was so annoying.
Dead by Daylight killed your liking for a music group.
yeah, I watched a
No.
video. I watched this video once about like the history of Dead by Daylight. It's like game balancing and how balanced their like the killers and the survivors were. And oh my god, it's horrible. The game's
Oh, it's
balance
really
is
unbalanced.
yeah, it's unbalanced to a ridiculous extent. Uh,
So
and
it's like,
always
is it
has
like what everybody picks one character that's always OP?
it's everybody picks like a select couple. Like there's like that apparently there's one character in the game that has literally ever since they released been the like number one killer. And it
Mhm.
hasn't changed, I don't think, even now. uh
Oh, so like Garden Warfare
Yeah.
2, am I right?
uh
Oh
but yeah,
man.
so
If any person that hears this plays Garden Warfare 2, if you play Electropy and I find you in the streets, I will decapitate you.
wow.
I will electropee your house.
uh yeah, I'll have to send that video because it's actually pretty funny how terribly the game is balanced. But
Wait,
yeah,
I just
that
want to
is
say
that
I
aside,
do actually
yeah.
main electropee. I actually do a main electropee.
Why, man? It's such a like nothing character. It's like
Actually, no.
it's
The
such a
character that I
like.
main the most is Mobcorn. I like
Okay, that's
Mobcorn,
that's better. That's better. That's better.
but I played a lot of Electropee.
Such
It's
a
just it's really
brainless.
good
I
when you
know, that's
learn
why I
how to
hate it. Because it's
when
so
you learn how to
brainless. It's so brainless to use. Okay, Amber, here,
when you
let me tell you this. Let me tell you this. This is how Electro-P is, right? There's a P shooter class. It's just kind of like your regular like shooter class, right? You just
Yeah.
shoot and aim, and then they do damage. That's it. Electro-P is that, but you can detonate the like projectile at any time that you want, and if you detonate it, it does more damage. Now imagine that, but the thing can like move everywhere. It has super speed. You can literally plop down yourself and do like huge amounts of damage, and then you can call in like a little bomb to take out a big crowd. That's literally it, and it's like the most annoying thing that exists. I hate everybody that uses it, and
and the best part is that electric damage. There's elements
all right,
in
and
the
electric
DBZ
damage.
games, and electric is a chaining thing, kind of like in
Oh, electric
other
chains.
electric thing.
Yeah, I forgot about
So
that.
not
Oh,
only do you do a shit ton of damage, but any person nearby actually gets a little bit of damage off, which makes it easier for them to kill.
yeah, I hate
Wow.
it. I hate it so much, and I hate it because it's a top tier thing. I remember specifically, I would deliberately like go out of my way to never use it because I hated it.
Yeah, no,
This is the
it's a
weapon of
crime
the
against
enemy.
humanity, but we it's unstatably very good.
That's competitive games for you.
Yeah.
But yeah, getting back to what I was talking about. So I got off track with Dead by Daylight, but and Garden Warfare, I guess. But so yeah, I've been my personal experience with Cookie Run Kingdom so far. Like I said, I played it once a while ago and then didn't play it for very long. I've like okay, I have a very apparent guilty pleasure for gacha games. Uh, like you like
Mm-hmm.
I am in the camp of someone who has never spent money on a gacha game, so luckily I'm not wasting my life away as much as I could be. But I do still like myself the occasional gacha game, and so I tend to play them. Uh, and so I've been playing Cookie Run Kingdom recently. Hopping on that. Obviously, don't worry, people who know me well. I still play Grand Blue daily, but uh, but I have a
Grand Blue Daylight.
man, imagine. Uh, but I've been like, it's fun. It like I think it can be I think it kind of like has a very like
Mm-hmm.
I think this is a thing that a lot of gacha games have, especially ones that are more simple, but it like you kind of like there's a lot to do, but at the same time there's not a lot to do. Like you have and what I mean by that is there's a lot of different modes, there's a lot of different challenges, there's a lot of different little things to do that keep you that kind of are meant to like, you know, keep you there, give you a lot of things to do in a day, so you're staying on and coming back daily to do all these daily things that you can do, or challenges to so that once you actually have some sort of end goal or like big difficult challenge to do once you've like, you know, really bulked up your units and stuff. The problem is that for me, like all of them use the exact same system of battle, because so
Mm-hmm.
the battle system in Cookie Run Kingdom is extremely simple. You have it's a shocker, you have it's a run. You
And you're a
have
cookie.
yeah, it's crazy, I know. But you essentially you start at point A. Your goal is to your cookies will automatically run across a straight line to point B, and in between there's various hordes of enemies that they'll have to face off against. And so it's essentially you just like have your cookies automatically run forward, attack the enemies, and then keep running forward until they get to the end. Uh, and this, and also I should mention, every cookie has one skill. They have normal attacks that they do at whatever that they'll attack with to deal basic damage, but every cookie also has one skill that you can activate.
Mm-hmm.
You activate their skill, it does big thing. Sometimes it's a buff, sometimes it's a big damage thing, sometimes it's a heal, whatever. And they'll once they use that, it'll be on cooldown, and then once the cooldown ends, you can use it again. And there's also there's a couple bit more in complexity. You can set your cookies. There's a front, middle, and back line. Usually, cookies have a specific position, but they can shift out of position. You can have 5 per team, 2 per row, front, middle, or back. So one row is going to end up having 1, and the rest will have 2 if you have a full team. Position, as far as I'm aware, doesn't matter too much about outside of who's getting hit. So like, you know, you have defender cookies are usually frontline cookies, so, and support or healer cookies are usually backline cookies, as it goes. And then there's also a little equipment system where you can have things that provide either passive bonuses to your entire team or have like you can activate them in the middle of battle to give like a buff or something. And while there's a lot of stuff, you may imagine that it results in not a lot of actual diversity in gameplay. You just kind of have your cookies run forward, do their skills when they're available. In fact, you can have the game do that for you because you just turn on the auto mode and they'll automatically use their skills when they're available. And that's about it. There's not really much interactivity in what you're doing. And pretty early on, I ended up just kind of turning on auto and just going into a level and just letting it run. Like I wasn't doing anything, and this battle system is used for literally every mode. They introduce a couple of mechanics in like a couple modes that's different. For example, in one mode you can set up multiple teams of 5, and you're able to switch between them in the middle of battle. But mostly this is for elemental purposes, which, by the way, elements don't really matter as far as I can tell, unless you're really min-maxing these specific events that have like specific elemental weaknesses for certain sections or whatever. But largely, if you just have a powerful enough team, you can get through it without too much problem. So it ultimately becomes, you have all these modes with a bunch of these different things that you can do, and all of them boil down to put your team out there, turn on auto, and then just maximize your DPS, and that's about it. So ultimately, the core gameplay loop is uninteresting. It like I can find when I play the game, I can find myself occupied by, you know, all the various things to do, and like, you know, the different like non-battle things, or you know, just experience the story of the game. Like there's a story mode that you can go through, which, by the way, every single story stage is that also. But it's just like they could do something more unique with the battles. They could do something more, like you could introduce more mechanics than just like you now have an extra attack to trigger, or you can add more teams and switch between them. Like make something more interesting. Like it's just uninteractive. Like you don't really, unless you're really unless this is a thing that exists in high level. But even then, high level is what only like some amount of the player base is going to get to. Most of the player base is going to stay at that mid level, even if they're playing for a while. So it ultimately doesn't end up mattering too much. And that I don't like. It's kind of a, I would say it's almost a non-issue, because really it's so non-existent that battling is such like a thing that you just kind of can ignore doing, to the point where it's like you can almost just act like battling isn't there. Like you just kind of treat it as, I'm doing this much damage, or I completed the stage, or I didn't. It just like doesn't really make much of a difference. But that aside, the rest of the gameplay, as someone who okay, little known lore about me, there was a point in my life where I played these kind of similar games where they would have like town builders. I think I don't know how many of those kinds of games you guys are familiar with. The ones that I played were Monster Legends. I played that a lot.
I also played that a lot.
Yeah.
Like, I'm very sad at how much time I put. I got to the corrupted era, and then like a little bit of the next one, and then I stopped. But I remember spending so much time because I wanted so many of the it was the oh, and I bought the Monster Pass a lot too. Fuck,
Dude,
man, I had a
I think that
problem.
was one of the games where I would I think I don't think I spent a lot of money on that game, but I definitely bought gems at some point.
Oh, I spent a good amount on that game. And there was this one monster. It was from like one of those like team race events
Hmm.
where you would get this like mythical monster, and it was basically this one monster that basically ignored taunt. It gave pierce and just shredded through shield like crazy. And not to mention that it could give itself like triple damage for no reason because it's funny. And then its like special was that it gave everybody double damage and pierce, I believe. And then
Wow.
it did a shit ton of magic damage. It was actually cracked as fuck. And I paired it up with the Master Rat, and then this one mythic that was an elephant.
Yeah,
Um
I played a shit ton of Monster Legends. Uh, I'd have to. I think I actually in one podcast episode I went over the monsters I used, but I don't remember now.
I want to download it again and like see what monsters I had.
Yeah,
Because
I
I can
don't.
log into my account right now. I just don't have the game installed because I was like, yeah, I'm not playing Monster
Yeah, I
Legends
don't.
again. But then I will come
I'm
back to
pretty
it.
sure. I don't remember if I ever connected a like if I ever like connected an account to it or anything outside of. I'm pretty sure I connected my like at the time I had a Facebook account. Don't remember why I made one. I guess just to make one. But I had one connected to it just for because you would get like a reward of a few gems if you connected your accounts to it.
And a
Uh,
Como Cat, the
uh,
water nature one,
I
rare.
yeah. I wouldn't remember that. It's been so long. But
I remember.
yeah, but that was that's it. But yeah, I played that a lot. But that's an example of like one of those like it is city or town builder games where it's like you have that kind of like grid where you can place various structures and stuff like that. You can kind of design your area as you want it to look. Another one that I played like that was The Simpsons Tapped Out. I remember I played that. Uh,
Mm.
I think that hit. I think that game hit end of service recently, or somewhat recently.
Really?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure
No.
Tapped Out is on end of service. Uh,
That's some bullshit.
Gem is playing Slay the Princess.
I'm getting references. Leave me alone.
Yeah, no, don't dog him. I'm playing Roblox. I'm playing Chikawa Abi.
What is it with everybody at Chihuahua? Why?
I don't know, bro. I started playing this
Uh,
Abi because I was like, I saw this in a Jaden Animations video. I'll play this. I'm on level 95. I've been at this for a long time.
let's see. Okay, it was. Okay, it was delisted on October 31st, 2024, and hit end of service January 24th, 2025.
Damn, so it
Yeah, so
got snuffed out this year.
yeah, Tapped Out. Apparently, it got released 2012. I was not aware it was going on for that long, but I guess it was.
You know what? Fair enough.
Yeah, but yeah, I played that. That was another one, but yeah, Cookie Run Kingdom also has those mechanics. It's very, and it very much has those like town builder. You can place all these buildings, and you can place various decorations that you want. Okay.
You know what's a game that I played
Yeah.
of that like same variety?
Mm-hmm.
I played Heyday.
Don't.
I
think
kind of
I've
remember
played that
Heyday.
one.
It's the
I
farming
kinda-
one where you have to where you have your own farm.
No, I've never played it, but
I've seen
I've
the
seen
ads
it.
so much.
I've seen the ad.
Yeah.
I feel like I've seen.
It's
I'm pretty
still
sure I've
going.
seen the ads. That fuck ass ginger lumberjack guy. I feel like I remember.
I've seen
But no, I didn't play this one. One that I did. I can't remember which. Is it? Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah, that one. No, not that one. Hang on. This one. I played Forge of Empires. That's what it was called.
No, shoot. I played Boom Beach as well.
Boom Beach.
Forgot that was-
I also played one that was based on like Greek mythology, but I don't remember what it was called. But yeah, I played some of those when I was younger. I don't really play them as much now, but Cookie Run Kingdom, I guess, is my return because that is kind of it's not its focus, unlike the others. I guess another one would be Clash of Clans. Was that? I'm pretty sure. Well, it is.
I beat the obby.
But
I
good for
played
you.
2. I played Clash of Clans, and I played Plants vs Zombies Adventures.
Huh.
That made my heart sing. Oh.
I remember I played only 2 hours of Adventures because I think it might have been my mom left her Facebook account open.
Oh my god. I wanted to play that game so bad because I saw so many videos about it. And then I went to look it up, it's not there no more. And I'm like,
Nope. You need an emulator. You need an emulator to play it now.
Plants vs Zombies, you bastard.
Well,
Re-downloading
yeah,
Monster Legends.
Alright, tell me how that goes. But
I
yeah,
also
so
played Dragon City in my Sinking
Dragon
Monsters.
City. I saw stuff
Pokemon
about
Go.
that because it was the other game made by them, but never.
Doesn't it
played
I
have
also
Markiplier and Mr. Beast in it?
Yeah. I also played Dragon Mania Legends, but that's a different one, and I played that one on Android. Oh, Jurassic World, the game! Ooh!
Wow.
I love that game so much, but I never played it anymore. What else? What else is there?
Well, while you're
there was,
thinking
like-
of what else, I've been trying to continue my point for.
Dragon City.
So-
Dragonvale! Oh, Dragonvale. Oh, sorry. Oh, Dragonvale. I love Dragonvale so much. It was so medieval, so video game, so epic. Woo! Oh man, oh Castle Clash. I remember trying that game out so I can get some gems for Monster Legend. Oh, and Clicker Heroes. I think I have that game on
Okay,
Xbox actually.
Okay, Clicker Heroes is a. I have Clicker Heroes on Steam. It's free on Steam.
Yeah, Clicker Heroes is cool.
But anyway, I'm getting off track here again. But like I was saying, Cookie Run Kingdom is like those kinds of games. It has those mechanics in place. At the though I'd say a lot of it is because you make buildings to produce items, and those items are essential to either make more buildings, have to utilize in other methods of gaining resources, and essentially what it all comes down to is the kind of the ultimate point of getting resources is to power up your units, your cookies, because that's the point of a gacha game, is your characters. And one thing that's I have to say, so I guess to comment on the actual town building aspect. It's fine. It works. It has a lot. There's a lot of decorations you can put. There's a lot of buildings you can put. It's about as run of the mill as every town building game is. It's not really anything special, but it exists. And if you want to put time into building your town, you can. I haven't. My town is a mess. But so talking about the units, which is the main point of the game, you actually so normally a lot of games have you can get you draw for characters and then you draw for something else. In Cookie Run Kingdom, you can draw for other things. You can draw for like the little little things that you could equip to your team, but those are separate and use a separate currency to draw for them. Drawing for cookies is you only draw for cookies. And though it's interesting. So there are two possible results to get from drawing. You can either get what are called soul stones, or you can get the cookie itself. Soul stones are essentially a thing where if you don't have the cookie, you can draw. If you get enough soul stones, you can unlock the cookie by having enough of them. It's 20 to unlock the cookie, and then if you already have the cookie, you can use soul stones to increase the level them up to essentially increase their. You start out with no stars, and you can bump them up to 5 stars, and then there's a step beyond that. Once you have them at 5 stars, then you can ascend them, which I think is the last thing you can do. You can ascend them multiple times, and it's so you if you draw the cookie outright, you'll get 20 soul stones, which is the same as the amount you need to unlock them in the first place. So there's that. I'd say the getting draws is fairly generous. You don't have. I so far haven't gotten to a point where I'm. Granted, I haven't been playing for that long, but I so far haven't gotten to a point where I've had I've kind of hit a wall of well, I've kind of gotten all my free shit out of the way. Now I'm not getting anything. You can still get draws with some amount of frequency, and so it's not horrible. And occasional in-game events will give you draws and blah blah blah. My biggest problem comes with the aforementioned adding stars to characters. Because obviously, if you want your character to be... adding stars increases the character's stats, which makes them more powerful, which makes them more useful as a unit. And if you're trying to get to the highest level areas of the game, or if you are trying to compete in the arena, there is a PvP mode where you obviously have your team of cookies and you go up against other players. And you can challenge them, move up in the ranks, and stuff like that. So if you want to get to those high level areas, you're going to want to level up your get the star ratings up as much as possible, which is the introduction to my favorite mechanic in most gacha games, which is in order to power up your characters as much as possible, you have to draw them multiple times. I was being sarcastic. I fucking hate this mechanic. It is the idea of having to get the same character multiple times multiple times to make them the most powerful version of themselves, especially if they are limited time characters. So if you don't get them to the maximum amount of power that they can reach, and then they leave the rotation, it fucking sucks, because you have to wait God knows how long in order to get another chance at powering them up to the best they can be. And I hate it. It is my least favorite mechanic, or one of my least favorite mechanics in gacha games. And Cookie Run Kingdom does that, but worse. So I mentioned that it takes their soul stones to increase their star rating. You would assume that it takes 20 per star. Not true. It takes in constantly increasing amount. Once you have the cookie, it does take 20 to get them to 1 star. Then, to get to 2 stars, it's 30. To get to 3 stars, it's 50. To get to 4 stars, it's 70. And to get to 5 stars, it's 100. Which, by the way, 100 is the equivalent of drawing the character 5 times over. And this gets ridiculous for characters that are the rare, the legendaries, the more, or the most rare cookies are currently the ancients and the beasts, which have a, if I remember correctly, 0.03% chance of getting drawn. About. Keep in mind that's for the individual. To actually, your chances are, obviously a combined total. If you to just draw a character from the beast or the ancient category, but to actually get the one you're looking for, you have to be a bit more lucky. Of course. And so if you, and by the way, there is, to my knowledge, no other way to increase star ratings. You have to get their soul stones from drawing. And in case you happen to get just their soul stone and not the cookie itself, because drawing the cookie gives you 20 soul stones, which is a lot. If you just draw their soul stone, you can get anywhere from like 1 to 5-ish, or 1 to 3 or something like that. Not a lot. To get to 100, let alone to get the amount to get them to 5 stars, is ridiculous. Like, that is like, okay, it's not necessary. I that's always the thing with gacha games. It's never necessary to max your characters out to the most most powerful. You don't have to get them to 5 stars or to E6 or whatever it's called. You don't have to do those. That's not necessary, and a lot of times you can do endgame content without those benefits. However, the fact that it exists means that there is the inherent temptation to do so. And of course,
So it'd be sometimes, because
Yeah.
like at that point in the game, you're already committed. Because at most of those games, the end point is either very far into the game, or they're still making more story, and so it's not like the final boss or anything like that.
Yeah, but in gacha games, the story is never the end point. Story is like a thing that is, cool. Like, people, story is part of what gets people engaged in the gacha game, but it's not it's not like your high level content. That's not where you're kind of aiming for. More story is a reason to return to the game, but it's not a reason to grind the game. And in this case, it's like, that is your reason to grind the game. You are playing it and again, in order to beat those high level things, you don't need them to be the most supremely powerful version of the character. But if you're struggling, or if your team maybe is not quite up to snuff, it can incentivize you to, maybe I'll draw a bit more to get this character again. And okay, you don't have to. Again, I've said this a million times, but you don't have to. And in none of these games where drawing duplicates of characters gives you an extra reward, you don't have to. there's the extra problem though with Cookie Run Kingdom for me, where if you want to draw this character multiple times, if you want to get them to be as powerful as they can be, you have to draw them a ridiculous amount more times than I've ever seen in any other gacha game. Like, to give a comparison example, in pretty much every Hoyoverse game, think Genshin Impact, Honkai Star Rail, Zenless Zero, whatever, in order for a character to reach their full potential, you have to draw them 7 times. It's a lot, especially with, you know, the rates of actually drawing the characters, and you kind of have to really commit and use a shit ton of draws if you want to get them to that point. But 7 is paltry in comparison to how many times you have to draw Cookie Run characters. Yeah, paltry.
Yeah.
Like Paul. No, not
Oh.
paltry, like chicken.
Oh, okay. Weird point of comparison.
No, it's not. Yeah. Yeah. So, paltry. Paltry. But yeah, it just means, like, you know, very insignificant. It is a paltry amount of draws, 7, compared to the amount that you have to draw in Cookie Run to get to the 5-star mark. Because, reminder, it takes 100 just to get from 4 to 5, and if you total those full draws all together, it totals to 200, which means you have to draw the character 10 times to get to 5 stars. And now this could be supplemented by drawing just their soul stones, but you still only get 1 to 3 per thing if you get that, and even just getting their soul stone only is still very rare. And keep in mind, this is not taking into account if you want to make them even more powerful through ascension, which requires additional soul stones. It's not like a research thing. You have to draw them more to ascend them more. So you could be drawing them 10 times, and you could draw them 10 times and still need to draw them more to power them up more. It is ridiculous, in my opinion, I should say. But still, that's a lot. You have to draw them a lot to get them up to full. Oh, sorry, my calculations were wrong. I missed a 0. You have to draw them 15 times to get them to 5 stars.
Wow.
Wow.
I missed a 0. I had 10 instead of 100. Yeah. So I think that's pretty ridiculous. Again, yeah, it's not necessary. Blah blah blah. You don't have to do this to unless you're really trying to min-max the high level stuff. But you have to do this if it, like, in order to get to that 5-star. It's you basically, unless you're paying like thousands of dollars on this game, which please don't. That's my advice. Please don't. I know it's you know, it's your money. If you're getting that much disposable income, I wish I was you. Unless you're blowing a ridiculous amount of money on this game, 5 stars is not something you will ever reach. I should say with the rarer cookies. Obviously, you're gonna reach it with the common or rare cookies. Like, those are really easy to get. But you're never on free to play. You're never hitting 5 stars. Not like. You could probably play the game for, unless you were supremely lucky, you would probably not hit 5 stars within 1 year of playing this game. Maybe that's an over-exaggeration, you know, maybe you know, if you played this game like nonstop for a year, then you probably could, but still, that's a lot. And keep in mind, if you want to 5-star a whole team of 5, good fucking luck.
Holy shit.
Because, again, there's 5 cookies to a team, so...
I'm
Yeah,
glad
no.
I stopped playing Cookie Clicker.
Cookie...
Cookie Cookie Run! Cookie Run!
Bro
God,
does
I can't...
not pay attention.
I'm glad I
No,
stopped playing
I'm just.
Cookie Clicker.
I'm glad I stopped playing. In general, actually, no. Wait, do I play gacha games? I honestly forget because I just play Pokemon Go, TCG Pocket.
TCG Pocket is
Rarely
fine,
do I
play.
dabble in Pixel Gun 3D.
I'll be honest, what you're
Rarely.
just describing is a Clash Royale system that they had back in the day. Oh, well, they still have it. Because you have to drag a character a ridiculous amount of times to level it up.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I think they introduced like wild card like for or wild cards for the common rares, epics, and the legendary classes and stuff.
Ah,
Well, at least they did that. Yeah, okay, so granted, I guess I should add this as like my addendum. I haven't played far enough in the game to know if there's an alternative to Soulstones. For all I know, there could be a thing that I haven't reached yet that is like say a universal Soulstone that you can get from certain things, and you can spend that on whatever cookie you so choose. Maybe that exists, maybe there's some other system, I don't know. But as far as my current knowledge of the game goes, you need to have it. You need to draw a ridiculous amount of times to get to that point, and if that's the only system that exists to up the star rating of cookies, then good lord. Not to you know, be too toot the trumpet of my main gacha game, but Granblue does not do this literally at all. If you draw a character, you never have to draw them again if you don't want to. As soon as you get the character, they are... Your only restriction of how powerful you can make them is having items to level them up. You are not required to draw them more times to make them more powerful. You are not required to draw anything else to level them up. You just you get the character, and all and every aspect of making them more powerful is just localized within the resources
your
that you
entire
can
PC?
localized entirely within your PC.
Decompiling Granblue.
But yeah, so that is, I am so happy that they don't have that mechanic, because I fucking hate that mechanic in every gacha game I play, and end up ignoring it also. I never pull. I'll pull to get the character, and then I will not pull for them, not try to pull for them, because I'll just save it for another character. And that is what I'll do. But I hate that, and I hate it even more in Cookie Run because it's so much worse. And they do... Okay, I should mention... I mentioned that the two rarest sections of characters are Beasts and Ancients. They do have an event that I think is permanent and that any player from now on can engage with, where you can complete certain things, and you get access to, for free, you get your selection of 3 out of the 5 ancients. So you can just get 3 of them for free. Obviously, if you want to increase your star rating, you have to actually draw them, but you at least get the character without having to draw them. 3 out of the 5 for completely free, which is nice. It doesn't solve the horrible star rating up mechanic, but it is nice. There is also in the same time when they introduced the beast cookies, they also introduced a like awakening for which is separate to Ascension. One's called Ascension, one's called Awakening. I'm pretty sure Awakening is pretty sure I got the names right. But Awakening for certain of the ancients, which is essentially a way to, for certain of them, you get they have like a more powerful form that just makes them even better units. And there is a specific category of the gacha that is dedicated to an increased rate on getting one of the beasts and one of the ascension. Oh, by the way, the ascensions, the awakenings. The awakenings have their own separate soul stones, and there's also steps to the awakenings. So, not to compound the part that I already hate with even more of it. Great, I love it, but whatever. But anyway, the separate gacha, it does have a feature where you can spark at 300 draws to get either the awakening of the relevant relevant ancient or the beast. You can choose either or once you have hit 300 draws. Sparking is a common thing, and I appreciate it because it makes getting them way less of a headache. And that is an appreciated benefit, and as far as I know, the amount of draws you put in doesn't reset. Like, there isn't you don't have to, like, hold the 300 draws and then use them up at a certain point. I'm pretty sure it maintains, so you can safely draw from those and come back to it whenever, and you will be fine. Now, as generous as some of these are, getting 3 free ancients, having the ability to choose if you want to draw the beast or if you want to get the awakening, that all is nice. That doesn't make me hate the star system any fucking less. And well, that's my rating on the gacha. The gacha, it gives you draws a fair amount, which is nice. The star system fucking sucks. There's some aspects that are nice, but the star system will never not fucking suck. Also, I guess I should briefly mention the story while I'm rambling about this game. The story, currently there's 2 sections of the story. One's in a world called Crispia, and the other is a world called Beast Yeast. The Crispia story is boring. I guess, okay. The story isn't that bad. It's not the worst story. Holy shit. I wish it wasn't so grindy. Like, I mentioned how the battle system is just kind of, you can ignore it. You just let the cookies run rampant. In every stage, you have to, there's like the actual, like, battle section is really long for some reason. Like, it's 3 separate segments, which makes for a really long track that you have to run through, which is annoying. I just want to experience the story, man. Why do I have to do your boring... If your battle system was more interesting, maybe I'd be more willing to go through with it, but no. The battle system is not interesting.
What if it was something like Rhythm Haven, where it was like you did like little rhythms to like attack with certain characters, and each character had a different rhythm?
That sounds fun. That honestly sounds fun. I wish they did that, but we get what we get, and we still throw fit. But yeah, it's like, I think the story would be fine, but it's just the the battle things, and you do that for every level. There isn't a level where it just like skips that out and just does story. It's a slog. So Crispia is boring. Beast East is good. I think that not only does it shorten the battle sections from 3 sections down to 1, which makes it way more tolerable to run through, but also there's a lot more story packed into each stage. You get a lot more dialogue, you get a lot more things going on, expansion of the story. The story is also just generally better written. And it ends up being a lot better as a story experience, which is why they decided to fuck up that and make the stamina system a problem. So I'm sure you're at least somewhat aware of stamina systems in gacha games, where doing certain things, playing certain levels, doing certain events draws from a stamina gauge, and once you run out of stamina, you generally have 2 options: wait for it to refill, or use some sort of special item or pay with some sort of currency to refill it. For some reason, they decided that the Beast East section of the story would use a separate stamina from what Crispia does. Crispia stamina is... I have so much that I don't know what to do with it. Like, I've played through about half of actually, literally half of Crispia's story mode, and I have, like, a maximum capacity of the Crispia stamina at, like 120 something. I'm currently still sitting on a stockpile of, like, 500 or 600 of it. It keeps giving you it, and maybe I'll run out once I get to a certain part of the story, and I'll need to actually wait. But I've gotten through 9 out of 18 worlds, and I'm still at this much of a surplus. Like, it is... I get so much of it. On the other hand, with Beast East, I did get a bit of a surplus at the start. That very quickly dwindled. Unlike the Crispia stamina, which you gain additional capacity for when you level up, like your character level up, or I guess I should say account level up. You get more capacity for that. You don't for Beast East. It remains at 100, and as far as I know, there's no way to increase that capacity. Not to mention, in order to regenerate 1 stamina, it takes something like over 10 minutes for 1 stamina. Mind you, to play a single stage, it costs 12. Which is a lot.
You gotta wait like 2 hours to play a stage. That's nuts.
Yeah, it's a lot. And there's no real good way to, like... Okay, so there is a way to refill Crispia stamina. It does say that there's a limit to the amount of refills that I'm assuming refreshes after some, like, maybe like a monthly reset or something. With Beast East, you cannot. There is literally 0 way to refill Beast East stamina. You can... so occasionally there's a special shop that you can buy things with the premium currency. It's not as premium as other games, but it's still a premium currency. You can buy it with premium currency, which makes sense. A lot of other gacha games have stamina refills with some sort of precious currency. And, you know, it's whatever. But you can only buy 3 of those that give you like 40 or so each. It might not even be that much. You can buy 3 of those, and then you have to wait for the shop to restock, which is enough to get you through like maybe 5 levels. Maybe that's a bit too... I don't think it's 40. I don't think it's that high. I think it's like 20. which is not a lot, and you get 3 of those, so you get like 60. And so you get to play through a few levels, and then you have to wait. You have to wait for it to refill up to 12, and then you get to play 1 level, and then you have to wait again. and say
Or-
as you
Or you could just play a different game.
That's true, I could. But I didn't, so I could just play Grand Blue, but the thing is I also do
True.
that, so I do it at the same time. And it's also a thing of like, if you, let's say you step away from the game, whether you need a break or you're normal and have a life, or you need to sleep, the 3 circumstances, and you come back and your stamina, your beastie stamina is fully filled back to 100. Hooray! You get to play like 8 or 9 levels. Awesome. And keep in mind, currently there are 9 worlds in Beast East, or 9 areas, and each of them have 30 levels.
Yikes.
So if you want to get through all of that, you're gonna be having to come back for probably more than a month to get through the whole thing. And I find that to be silly. Now, granted, if you were playing the game when Beast East first released, you're probably having a better time, because completing 1 world takes a few days, but a few days is not that bad, because worlds are getting introduced 1 at a time as far as I know. For someone who's coming into this later, this fucking sucks. Like, this is horrible.
There's a lot of things to do, and it takes so long.
Yeah, and and the worst crime of all of this is that it's an interesting story. Like, if it was a boring story, I wouldn't care as much. But the fact that the story is at least somewhat interesting and enough to keep me, like, invested makes it so much worse, because what if I just want to experience the story? Like, I don't care. Like, you're making it such an arduous task to just experience good writing. I could buy a book, and it would take me as long to read as I wanted it to. I could buy a visual novel. I could buy any game with a story. I could get a free game with a story, and it would and I could go at it in my own pace. I wouldn't have to worry. Like, this wouldn't be such a problem if they would have some method of letting you refill the stamina for Beast East. They don't. There is no way. There is no, unless you spend real money, like, to spend money on some sort of bundle that includes, not even a bundle, not even like spend real money on a refill. Spend real money on a bundle that happens to include the stamina, and then you get, I don't know, maybe there's one that you can buy endlessly, but still, having to spend real money, I don't want to do that. I don't think that should be your only option, aside from, waiting. It's just, it's horrible. Why did they decide to do this? Like, why didn't they just use the same stamina system as the initial world? Like every other gacha game does, that only ever has 1 stamina system. Why did they make them separate? Why did they not let you refill it? It is baffling to me. I don't get it. The story is good. I've said this already. The story is good, and I will give it credit for that. But it's hard to give credit for the good story when I can hardly even experience it. But that's the story. Everything else is, I don't have much to comment on. Overall, the game is fine. There's things that I don't like about it. There's things that I like about it. It's a perfectly fine gacha. As far as gacha.
No.
Like, got a perfectly fine gacha game. For gacha games, the bar is already kind of low, so a perfectly fine gacha game is just kind of hitting that bar. You know, it's when you go into a gacha game, you kind of go into it with the knowledge that it's going to be somewhat predatory in some sort of ways. It's going to have methods that drive you to, that kind of like are meant to pull you in, that are meant to get you to spend money, that are meant you to keep playing, come back tomorrow, come back the next day. Just a few more minutes, Mom. I swear I'll be done in a minute.
You haven't eaten dinner all night. Shut the fuck up! I'm cookie running, bitch.
Yeah, but you kind of come into gacha games with that inherent agreement, and whether or not you choose to spend money or you choose to be a free-to-play player, that's all up to you and your ability to resist the temptation. But like, and it's it's like, again, it's fine. It's not the fact that the actual draws are not like, they don't like drip feed it to you or something. Like, that's better than other gacha games, sure. There's definitely more predatory gacha games out there, though I will say it is there's still definitely a level of, we really want you to spend money, because I kid you not, every time you draw a somewhat rare cookie, you are immediately, if you go back to the home screen, it will have a pop-up for, wow, you just drew this new cookie. Want to buy this like $10 bundle to like help power them up? Every time. Oh, and by the way, if you this also happens if you, I'm pretty sure if you one star the cookie, it'll also have a thing of like, hey, you just 1-starred your cookie. Want to buy this bundle for X amount of money to make them even more powerful than 1 star? It's like, get out of my fucking face. I don't want it. They do this a lot. And also they do this a lot for like, it's also limited time, by the way. Every time they do this, sometimes you'll reach a certain milestone and it'll be like, limited time, 2 days only. Get this to help you advance even further now that you've reached this milestone. Shut up.
You know what's funny? Monster Legends does the same shit, and at some point, it's every time you level up. Because when you level up, they're like, get this limited time food gold deal with a free mythical. No, not free mythical, but another mythical and a mythical habitat, just for your convenience at the lowly cost of $19.99.
Oh god, dude, that's another thing I hate. Thankfully, Cookie Run doesn't do this, but so I didn't complain about it earlier. But I fucking hate gacha games like that have some sort of system that limits the amount of characters you can have, and you have to like spend something to level it up. Monster Legends is even worse with this because it has habitats that are specifically for the higher ranking monsters, and you can't put them in any lower tier, so you have to get these super special ones for them. I hate that mechanic. Also, I haven't had as many gacha games that have that system in place, so I don't hate it as much as the you need to draw characters multiple times to make them the most powerful mechanic, but I still hate the mechanic. I hate the one other game that I played that has that is Touhou Lost Word. It has an inventory limit on characters.
That game. Yeah. I remember Amber streamed that game to me, and I kept on pointing out how many tabs it just had.
Yeah,
it looked like I was looking at one of those gambling machines.
It look like gacha games are the closest you get to, you know, those like screenshots where people like, it's like a screenshot of the game, but they edit like 50 games UI elements onto it.
Yep, that's how it felt like.
Like, gacha games are the closest you get to that, but like a real experience. Um, but yeah, Total Lost Word does that. You start out with a maximum of 100 characters. It's total space. And by the way, this
Mhm.
space also counts for if you get duplicate characters. Uh, if you have two of the same character, uh, again, it also incorporates the whole you have to draw. That one it does it a bit better because because unlike a lot of others, you can actually substitute in an item for a character, so you don't necessarily need the duplicates, which I like. I still don't like the
Mhm.
system, but it's better. Uh, but regardless,
Yeah.
getting duplicates of the characters takes up more inventory space until you eventually combine them into the first character you got and make that one more powerful. But God, I fucking hate it. I hit the you're like the whole point of gacha games is to draw for characters. Why are you limiting how much I can draw for characters? I don't get it. Just another stupid fucking way to make them more money, and I hate it. But yeah, Monster Legends. I do remember that how it had a special habitats for the rarest of monsters, and it was. I was less annoyed by that when I was younger and didn't really have as much concept of this stuff, and now that I'm older and do, I hate it. It's so annoying. Uh, Again, another thing that Granblue doesn't do. You don't have a character inventory limit. You have a weapon inventory limit, but that one is way more easy to manage and matters less.
Oh, you know what? That just reminded me of another thing that I kind of don't like about these types of games.
These are just mobile game tropes. This is just all
Yeah,
it is.
mobile
This
game
is
tropes.
just
Yeah, I
mobile
don't.
game tropes.
Yeah,
It is
mobile game
mobile game
tropes
This
tropes,
stuff.
but
isn't
I
even
think
like a
it's.
just gotcha game. This is just mobile game tropes.
I know it. I know it's a thing with like a lot of mobile games, but like, it's like it to me. I associate so much with gacha games because that's what I play the most. But yeah, it is a general mobile game problem because
It's a general mobile game thing,
most
but you
mobile
gotta
games are
imagine
really
that.
trying to squeeze as much money because they live off of microtransactions.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I have to say, in general, there's that cool little trope where if you watch a certain amount of ad videos, you get more things.
Oh
Again, I
yeah.
have to give credit to Monster Legends with their inclusion of Monsterwood, which is basically like Hollywood. But you watch ads and you get cool things, right? It's so cool. You get to make more money for us. Ah,
Oh
it's
god,
fucking
I do remember
it's
that.
it's so fun. I love watching ads for shit I'll never play.
Yeah, it's like that's the fucking I hate that too. Like watch ads for free rewards, blah blah blah. It's such a drag. I have to in order to do things in the game, I have to sit there and not play the game for 30 seconds. And not to mention, most of the time, the rewards you get from those are negligible. They only give you bits and bobs at a time for watching a 30-second ad. Sometimes it can be longer than 30 seconds depending on what they want to show you. And
Hmm.
it's God, that's another thing I hate. I'm pretty sure. I think I've seen something where that does exist in Cookie Run Kingdom. I have no idea if they can because I'm playing on the desktop Google Play thing. I don't know if they
Hmm.
can. I know that it's not a thing that they. It's not a part of gameplay. I've only seen it mentioned once in the game and not as a core mechanic. So, as
Hmm.
far as I know, that doesn't really exist to an annoying extent in Cookie Run Kingdom, but definitely do remember that in Monster Legends. I also remember it in Pixel Gun, and Block City
Oh,
Wars
yeah.
as another fun throwback to my childhood. Uh, I hate anything that requires you to watch ads. I know that's how. I know that's. I know that ads are a very like, are a way for them to make money without you having to spend it yourself, but I still hate it. It's
Yeah, I mean, I understand why, but it's just like, it's just kind of like
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, man.
I mean, hold on, I'm braining. Um, but I wish there was like a different way that these mobile games can make their money, but I understand why though. Like
Mhm.
with the ads and everything, because it's like a way to get the money that they need to get in order to continue making their game without like making it a priority to purchase things in order to continue to play the game, because that kind of seems like a really bad idea. If there was just a bunch of microtransactions that were a priority in the game's progression, I feel
Mhm.
like a lot of games would die out if they were to go through that trope, and I'm glad they don't.
Mhm.
I will take
It's
the ads over being money blocked.
Very yawny.
There
I'm
you go. I
not.
mean, I'm about
so.
to
Can you
yawn
say?
too. You
So can you say
dick. I'm
priority for me?
priority.
Okay, never mind.
What did you think I said? Priority.
Did you did you think he said it sounded
Nothing.
weird?
Oh my gosh. Man, my
I'm gonna
fucking.
have to watch back at this episode to see if you said it weirdly or something.
Imagine if I did, because I actually don't know. But if I did, I'm sorry.
Oh, I'm done drawing. I'm gonna get out of this game.
I've
Oh,
Ugh.
this is
no
not,
shiny
you know,
glare in Zigzagoon.
actually it was like I've been it's funny how like I've been every time I bring up gotcha games and how much I hate them, that like see earlier in this episode me just going like, man, these mechanics suck. However, Grand Blue.
It is always like that. Yeah.
Yeah, because the thing is that like this is it's not just a Grand Blue thing. This is a thing with like old gotcha games. Like, because Grand Blue is an old gotcha game. It came out in 2014, and older gotcha games tended to be more like they tended to be less predatory. They tended to be more generous. Comparing them to like modern gotcha games are way more like modern gotcha games are trying way more to be more have more ways to make you pay money or have more skew the odds just a bit less in your favor, so you spend a bit extra money to get those to get a few extra draws and stuff like that. Like maybe I'll get them this time, like literally how casinos operate.
Yeah.
But like older gotcha games are less like that. They obviously they still are like that to some extent. Every gotcha game is going to be, but older ones are, just tend to be nicer with that uh, and have those uh, those aspects of them that are more user friendly and allow you to experience the game without needing to go for all this dumb shit that they want you to pay for. There are some, and not to say that modern ones aren't aren't like this. Like completely are a lot more predatory. I think one that I can think of, at least in my current experience with it, that is like that is Reverse 1999. I haven't played much of it, but it does seem to be a lot more nice with its with what it gives you and what it has. It still has the multiple characters thing, which I don't like. But it overall seems less. It still leans more into the modern thing that I'm talking about, but it seems to do that less so. That's the one example I can give. And even then, it doesn't fully lean into that. Not a bad game though. But yeah, it's like it's I can appreciate especially Grand Blue. I like that it just has there was a point in time where it did something similar to Cookie Run, where it had in regards to its main gameplay, I should say. This isn't about anything like spending money related or something. Where each chapter you would have you were required to do a battle, and to the point where it would almost be a detriment to the writing. Like you would early Grand Blue is so funny. Like early Grand Blue's story is so funny because the amount of times it would be like they would be talking about something and it would be like, "Hang on, guys, we got to deal with this group of monsters." And then it would start a battle, and then you would hop back in, and it would be like, "Anyway," continues talking about the thing they were before they were interrupted, and then repeat that like 15 million times. It was in more recent I'd say around 2016, about 2 years after the game came out, they started kind of dropping that and making it so that story story events or main storyline would be about the story, and battles were more few and far between, where in places where it actually made sense to have a battle or something like that. But I remember you play through the game and the main story, the first 60 odd chapters are that format, and then it's hard shift to suddenly you're not fighting battles all the time and only when you need to, and it's this is different. But anyway, moral of the story: gacha games want you to spend money, so don't, unless you want to, I guess. Your money, I'm not going to tell you what to do with it, but I would recommend spending as little as possible and not getting roped into the addiction, because if you do, that's a real problem for you and your wallet. And if you do, also, bonus advice: don't ever step foot into a casino in your life. Trust me, you're better off.
That's the final boss right there.
That's also just general life advice. Just don't go to casinos. They're they're like gacha games, but worse.
Funniest part is I live in Nevada. And there's a bunch of casinos everywhere, and I'm like, oh well, I'm fucked. I mean, I don't play those really bad mobile games anymore, but then again, my gambling brain doesn't go into that. It goes into the well-known Pokemon card hobby. And that is a gamble on its own. In fact, a couple days ago, I went to a card shop and I bought 4 Pokemon packs of a set that hasn't released yet. But they were Japanese.
Oh,
yeah.
I see.
They were Japanese.
I was like, what? Did you buy it from Game Freak's internal?
No, the thing is that card stores, because they buy from distributors sometimes, that they can sometimes get early access to, or they get a shipment a few days before the official drop date in big retailer stores. But of course they sell it at an upcharge because that's how the Pokemon card hobby is sometimes, especially now. But I bought the Japanese packs usually are supposed to be $2, $3. I bought 4 packs for I want to say $5 each. I want to say.
Yeesh.
So it's like, so it's pretty bad. But the first pack I opened, $65 card. It was the Secret Illustration Rare of Nidoking EX, where Giovanni's in the background, and
Wow.
he's like really cool. Hold on, let me actually pull up the actual card. Nidoking
While you're doing
EX.
this reminds me. Did you see that thing where like that? I saw on Twitter where that one streamer was like bought like a shit ton of packs of cards just to pull for like one specific card he wanted, and it was like, dude,
This is the
that
card
looks
right here
cool.
that I got.
Looks pretty
It
cool.
is. It's really cool. Jim, what do you think of this card?
Looks cool.
I pulled it. It's really cool.
That's awesome, man.
Do you happen to know what set that dude bought? Try to
No,
get
I think
one
he was
card out of
pulling
it.
for a specific Umbreon, if I remember correctly.
Oh no! Don't tell me it's Evolving Skies. I was pulling from, because
Probably.
oh, it's either that or Prismatic Evolutions. Prismatic Evolutions is such a turbulent tale of losing so much money because the pull rates are ass.
Yeah, it
But then
said that
Evolving Skies has the same problem, but it's more expensive. Like each pack is like $40 for Evolving Skies,
Yeah, it was.
and then
I'm
Prismatic is
trying.
like $12
I'm trying to find.
because there's two Umbreon cards. There's one Umbreon that's like a VMAX, and it's like a big ass Umbreon on like a building in the night sky, like shooting stars. Um, and then there's the other one where it's like sitting with like um the stellar Terra Crown, or the Terra Stellar Crown. I don't know how to pronounce it. I think it's the Stellar Terra Crown, yeah. And it has like a sun behind its back. And that Umbreon card has been going down in price, and the Moonbreon from the Evolving Skies set is still really high. Like it's probably one of the most sought out modern cards. If you're looking at vintage Charizard, it's just like it takes the cake. There's just no denying it. Base set, Hollow Charizard, first edition, Shadowless is crazy,
I'm
and could
trying to
literally buy
find.
you a car.
Wow, I'm trying to find the thing about the streamer. Hang on. Let's see. Let's do a general Google search. Oh, right. It's a guy from FaZe, of course, named Kaysun, who spent $30,000 to get a $1,500 Umbreon EX.
That's the Umbreon from Prismatic Evolutions. The Moonbreon is like a few $1,000s. Oh my god, let me actually look at fucking Umbreon. Oh my
Yeah.
god.
It's Prismatic Evolutions.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he got a. So it's and some Umbreon EX as part of Prismatic Evolutions, and he spent $30,000 on Pokemon cards to get this. Like, Jesus Christ, dude. And not to mention, like, why? Like you're kind of well, I get why, but like you're spending this ridiculous amount of money on all these card packs, and for like buying all this is taking it away from other people who just want to, enjoy like drawing Pokemon cards are very much a thing where it's like there's a lot of fans of Pokemon, and I'm sure there's so many
Yeah,
uh
yeah,
there's so
and I
many
agree.
people who just buy Pokemon cards because they like Pokemon. They're not trying to pull for something rare. They're not trying to resell and sell a super rare card. They're just doing it because they like Pokemon, and maybe they just want to draw some cool cards, get the
Yeah,
cool packs.
exactly. That's the problem with the hobby right now is that there's so many people who are trying to use this hobby as like a as like a flipping business where you get sealed product and then you sell it at a higher price because like that's how you quote unquote make your money with all this. And it's stupid because there's people who are buying so much like of Journey Together. There's people that are going to be buying a shit ton of Destined Rivals. And don't get me wrong, Prismatic still has its value in the sealed product world, but those cards are going down in value. And not to mention that, like, Journey Together, it used to be like $12 a pack. And then it went down to $8 a pack. Right now it's like under $6 a pack. And $5 is like the medium of where cards should be. That's like MSRP, is like $4.99 for like a single pack of a Pokemon card, or a Pokemon pack. It's what it should be. It's what the retailers use. So it's funny to see scalpers online. They're like, oh, nobody wants to buy this shit, and they start kicking the fucking product around. Like, dude, fucking chill out. Like you did this to yourself. You bought a shit ton of stuff that was losing value because the value is not what's important. It's about like fucking opening it and sharing it and I don't know, battling with it, collecting it, all that type of stuff. And this dude's buying it to try to flip it for a business. Same thing goes for like people trying to like buy out other sets in Scarlet and Violet, like Scarlet and Violet Base, Paradox Rift, Temporal Forces, Obsidian Flames, fucking Shrouded Fable, which was a set that people bought packs for like $4 when buying from other people because the set was so like not that high value, but because of the Pokemon craze, it went up to fucking $6, and I think right now it's like hovering around 7, which is crazy for a special set that people didn't like, but just got it because of the craze, just trying to get anything and everything that they can. It's insane.
Mm-hmm.
It's nuts, and it's not what it's supposed to be about. But, and even me, like, I'm trying to get me some stuff because I want to collect the game. I love the Pokemon cards. I love collecting all these silly little cards because some of them look cool, and, like, some of them are really good, like, competitively. But like the fact that I have to be in line at GameStop the day before it the thing fucking drops just to get ahead of the people who come in at like midnight with their or like 8 o'clock in the evening with their lawn chairs to just sit down in front of GameStop and sleep there and then to buy everything out. It's fucking stupid, and I would use a lot of words that a lot of people wouldn't agree with using, but just know there's a lot of words that I would call that. It's stupid. And it's nonsense. I was out there in front of a GameStop at 6 in the fucking morning. There was like 8 people in front, and we were hoping that the GameStop right there would lower their limit from two things per customer to one per customer, because we were trying to buy um like this big box of prismatic evolutions, and it contained like 15 packs. It contained like a little Eevee deck box, which is really cute. It also
Mm-hmm.
contained a prismatic evolutions playmat, which is really awesome. And you know what? I was the last person who could possibly get one if everybody was gonna get one. And if I was the one with the one left remaining, I was gonna let the dude behind me get it because he wanted to play mat. And I thought that's fucking cool. And I'll just take the tins. But the people in front, they were getting two per, and then just fucking like they weren't even collecting. They were all together. It was fucking bullshit. And it doesn't just happen there. It happens everywhere. Um, and I don't want to be. And the thing is that I love Pokemon cards. I love Pokemon in general. I will get up at 6 in the morning and go wait in front of a GameStop because I just love the hobby that much and I want to get me some stuff. I will not be waiting the day before. That is absurd. To make a flip, like that's absurd. Like I get people need a hustle, but hey, guess what? Go get a fucking job. Go get a job. Stop using your Pokemon. Stop using Pokemon cards as a viable, as a quote unquote viable like financial occupation, because it's not. And things will
Dude,
crash. It's
just
an
like play the
unstable
stock
market.
or something.
Yeah, if you want to fucking play with like shit like this, go play the actual stocks. Or better yet, go get a job.
me sleeping outside
Because
Wall
most of
Street
these motherfuckers don't
overnight
have
to wake
jobs.
up and get the and get the stocks as soon as possible.
Oh my god. And it's like, and if you have a job, why are you buying all the Pokemon stuff? Like, I'm not gonna be buying everything. Not only doesn't my budget not allow that, I just don't think it's that responsible. I want to buy something. And if there's nothing to buy, that kind of is not only like it's not unfair. It's not just like unfair to the people who've been waiting there since like 6 in the morning and stuff like that. But it's like the most fucking thing, the most fucking painful thing is that like young people who want to get into the hobby but can't find shit in the stores. That's what hurts the most. Like right now, this older generation, Gen X and millennials, they think that they could just grab everything, make a profit, and that this is a fun, elaborate scheme. But like they're the younger generation that they're fucking it up for, and it's fucked up. I don't mind I don't mind sacrificing my place in a line if it means that somebody who's aspiring to be a collector or just is there for fun is going to get the stuff, I don't mind that. Cuz I'm 21. Like I could spend my money on more important things. I'm only doing it as a recreation. It's not a necessity to me. Don't get me wrong. I joke about, how I need my fix every now and then. But if I really do need a fix, I'll go to a card store. Like it's not that difficult to pick an
If I
alternative.
need my fix,
So
I'll
that way
just
other
get
people
into baseball.
I'll open Dragon Ball Z cards. I'll open Yu-Gi-Oh! I don't even know how to play this shit, but I'll open it. I don't know what I'm looking
Open
for.
my Magic the Gathering.
I'm gonna open my top cards. But
Yeah.
it's a treacherous world in terms of Pokemon card collecting, and well, all I'm gonna say to like end it off and not go on another rant. Everybody deserves the opportunity to open a pack and feel that bliss. Even if you don't get anything, you're still getting something. And
The experience.
there it is. That's my ending. That's my ending statement, Your Honor.
Hooray.
Did you clap?
Yeah. Well,
Just a standing applause in the courtroom. Yeah.
Actually I'm sitting. Courtroom?
I don't know. That's why I
Where do you
said Your
think I
Honor.
am?
I don't know.
Me recording this podcast in the local courthouse. But I guess I should say, since your ramble's over, we probably should wrap up. We are at 2 hours 18, so.
That is true, Reno.
Yeah. Well, we had.
Wait,
This was
before we end, Gem, Gem, Gem.
Gem. Gem.
Gem.
Huh. Oh, no.
There you are. Gem, I got a
fall
question.
asleep or something?
There was.
I got a question to ask you though.
But
Have you have you collected Pokemon cards before?
when I was like 6,
Hmm. Do you
even
think that you...
I just bought them because I
Mhm.
would be like a lady that set up shop outside our school.
Oh shit. Some premium shit right there. Cause like that's like base set, maybe fossil, like some highly sought out sets. In fact, if you have a Charizard art of like the base set packs, I think if you get it like PSA graded, like a 9 or a 10, it's worth like 5 digits. It's like $14,000 for a pack or so. Which is kind of funny because, you know, I guess it's cool to collect the packs as well and keep them in these little containers. Though I wish I had opened up some of that. I never really got into the Pokemon cards stuff until like when they were doing the
And
I
it
think I
keeps
dabbled
going.
into it a bit when they started releasing some platinum stuff like Diamond and Pearl, you know, Gen 4 stuff. Dabbled into Gen 5 with Black and White. Um and then Gen 6 uh X and Y. That's when I
So,
started getting into it a bit more. It was
so
beautiful. Yeah.
you're going off on a tangent here.
Amber, have you collected Pokemon cards?
I've shown you my Pokemon cards before.
Yes,
That's
you
all you
have.
need to
Yes, you
know.
have. Yes, you have. Yes, you have.
uh,
Heading at the runtime.
yeah, we're going back to 3 hours, game.
All right. Well, I'm done.
Well, thanks for watching. It was a very rambly episode this time. Me talking about gacha games and Soul talking about Pokemon cards. But hey, that's what you're watching this for, probably.
I guess. Everybody.
That's kind of our draw. That's like, it's funny. I'll leave this as my a little comment to make. I'm not gonna extend this out too much, but I always found it funny when when I mentioned like shortening the podcast down to 2 hours to my mom. She was like, you should like like shorten it, and then like you should like edit it so that like people will like it's more fun when it's like edited, and like she was like giving recommendations for like
Mm-hmm.
what would make it more entertaining to viewers, and I'm just like, I don't care about making this podcast more popular. I just want to do it because it's fun. Like I have no desire to do any tactics or fancy things to like sometimes like there's like things that I think would just for like presentation wise that I think would be just cool to have, but I don't do any of it with the mind of like, this will attract more viewers so we can get real popular. I just want to do this. I don't care if if like
Mm-hmm.
one person watching us or 1,000. It doesn't make any difference to me.
No. I think
That's
the biggest takeaway is uh don't gamble, kids. Whether it is in a video game, real life, tangible and untangible items. Don't do it. I mean, it's fun, but don't do it.
yeah. It's
Because that
gambling
would be
is
bad.
gambling does trigger your dopamine, but just because it does that doesn't mean it's good for you.
Gambling is
Life lesson.
battling.
Well, yeah. Moral of the story: play Grand. No, just kidding. But hey, thanks for watching. Thanks for listening to us ramble. hopefully next episode we'll have Fia back in here. Oh yeah, I guess I should say, since Fia's not here to say it herself, Fia is, since it is summer, Fia is officially out of high school.
Yeah.
Everyone celebrate.
Yay! Happy birthday.
Yeah, so Fia is officially moving on to college, which means she will actually be come this August. She will be about an hour drive away from me. So
Happy
that
birthday,
will be pretty
guys.
cool. But yeah, thanks for watching. Thanks for hanging around.
And we'll see you next time
See
on
you
the
in the next video. Bye bye. Just like Markiplier. Yeah,
Yep.
say goodbye. Bye bye. Say bye,
Bazinga.
Gem.
Bye, Gem.
And Gem's asleep. Everyone, can we get a good night, Gem, down in the comments?
No, don't do that. This is fucked up. Okay.
Sleepy times for sleepyhead. Alright, well.
All right.
Thanks for watching. Bye bye.
Good night, everybody.